I've wanted to hear about this. I've seen it all over TikTok.
Tell us about it. Is it, isn't a basilisk from Harry Potter? Are they real? They're not real.
Bros in the group, so is this like a boys only group?
Well,
This is cool.
sorry, I'm listening now. I'm not tired anymore.
Yes, interesting. Tell us.
Book Bros, did you say? What are we doing here? I tell you both that. Ah, thanks. I like making people's day.
Oh, he's coming in. Let's let him in.
Yes. Hi.
I hope you meant to press it because I've just pulled you in.
Yeah.
Oh, are you in the gym?
No, I'm at work. I'm on lunch.
No. How are you?
All right. I'm good. My name's Adam.
Adam.
Hey.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. We're all reading different books. I think somebody did a book so we're all part of we're like a Discord of different readers, and there's various different genres in there. Everything from, your standard fantasy, high fantasy, contemporary, everything, for everything, right? And so somebody posted, hey, I bet the guys won't read any of these books. So we all decided to just pick random books, and we dubbed it Smutty Spring. And so we're all reading outside of our normal genres. And there are some good writers out there. I'm not saying there are some great writers out there for both regular and spicy. Like, I have my own dispersions on it, like not the book itself. Like, the books themselves they're gonna sort themselves out. My only concern is, like, I like for the story and the plot to make sense when you add in spice. Like, if you take out spice out of a book and it's all just fluff, like, what do we got going on here? And you should still be able to have a story with spice, without spice, but at the same time, if the spice is integral to the plot, that definitely makes sense, though. Sure. So we're all just reading it. So Kiss of the Basilisk, I feel like it's like I will say this: the branding on it was really good. So I don't know if you ever looked at the original. The original one was called Split or Swallow, and it looked like a Catholic communion cup.
Okay.
And then, so what they did though is that they renamed it Kiss of the Basilisk, gave it a more contemporary cover. Okay. And then they used the old cover art as the sprayed edges.
Oh wow!
So it looks good. I like that by itself is great. It kind of is like, it's your standard. They have all the girls it's a hierarchy of royalty. They have basilisks, or shapeshifters, so they can do the things like basilisks in Harry Potter.
Okay.
But like, they can turn things to stone. They have poison bites. There was a whole war between men and basilisks. So the basilisks are more basically shape-shifting peoples, right? I guess you could call them parcel hung. But anyways, they came to a truce, and essentially their job is that they pick out 13 girls that were born the same year as the prince. They send them off to a quote-unquote finishing school, where they teach they basically learn the ways of being like the future queen, and they get a basilisk who's their like personal marriage counselor of sorts for the bedroom.
Interesting. That's wild.
And so there's a whole thing between them. It's kind of like The Bachelor meets like high fantasy type situation.
Love that. That's
wow.
Sounds like something I would dive right into.
Oh, it goes from 0 to 60 real quick.
I can imagine. Sure, let me know. That sounds all up my street. But yeah, I do hear what you're saying about Snot needs to balance out the plot
Yeah.
for sure. Because sometimes you were saying, you asked me, didn't you, is there more plot to this story or is it just all spies? And I was like, the plot is there, it comes in, but.
I can't do anything without plot. If there's no plot, I don't want the smart. I'm sorry. No.
I mean, yeah. At that point, you can just like watch it on the GIF.
Depending on my mood, I can read anything, to be honest. Apart from, fantasy for me takes too much brain power.
But at the same time, it's also like, it's like, have you ever read Nevernight?
No.
So, Dark Academia, right? Instead of Shadow Daddy, it's a Shadow Mommy.
Okay.
Exactly. And it gets up there, and the writer, it's only a trilogy, so you don't have to sit there, and they're all out already, so you don't have to sit there and like pull up Rebecca Yarros and wait for 3 years.
No comment.
You know, I have my own thought process on that. Like,
I haven't read any.
oh no, I have a whole like, what's it called? Theory. I have a whole theory page of different theories, and then I try to disprove them to see which other ones would work. Like by book 1, I already knew what was going to happen in book 2.
Right, okay. Love that.
Is that on your page, these theories?
Oh no, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Because if I put there are friends of mine that we have like in our Discord. I'll talk about certain theories that I have going on, but then, and mind you, this is only with the information that Rebecca Yarros has already given, either in book or in interviews.
Okay.
Right.
Because she has done both of them. I swear, if she kills Riddick, we're going.
No.
I don't even know who
But,
that is, but I'm passion.
But I will say this. All right, so if book 1, 2, and 3, if you look at it in this way, it's supposed to be a 5-book series, right?
Mm-hmm.
So book 1 was world building with the core characters and in the school.
Yeah.
Book 2 was integral like accessory characters and everything outside of the school. Right?
Yeah.
Book 3 is the overarching premise of the continent and world and the political schemes that go within that, and more of the dragon like hierarchy that they got going on.
Yeah.
I think colors matter to an extent, but I think that the tail type matters more about the dragon. There's a whole process in that. I can't. If you haven't read it, I can't tell you about it.
I mean, I don't. You could tell me because I don't care. Okay. Not that I don't care.
So,
that sounds really hard. But.
Okay, so before anybody gets started, spoilers, yada yada. All right, so and Darna's a feathertail. When she gets and meets the other Irids, they're basically like the dragon Amish. They don't believe in like putting themselves in the way of the world. They whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they admonish her because she chooses to have a scorpion tail. Majority of the orange dragons they've talked about have all been scorpion tails, right? The only blue dragons are a dagger tail and a sword tail, and they're both only given. They've both only bonded with royalty. Zayden, who's royalty, and Eric, who's royalty, who also have like ridiculous, what do they call them? Other sigils, right? Their signets are more powerful than most people think. Then on top of that, I was like, all right. So here's the thing. I think the Irids can still control time.
Yeah.
Because for Andarna to leave and come back 2 months later, and all of a sudden be like, I'm no longer a little girl, I'm a lady, essentially. Because she's supposed to come back like I'm a bad bitch dragon. Like, I swear to God, like if she doesn't come in the show and they're playing that song like what I forgot. It's like I put it on the ground or some shit like that, and it's a deep bass drop.
Yeah.
So there's that, right? Also, I think the only reason they've never fixed the Venom is because the Irids have never chosen to pick a side and join. The fact that they're Switzerland is actually the reason why there's an imbalance within the world. Because if they can make bonds, break bonds, they've chosen to be out of it. They don't want to fight, but they can make bonds, break bonds. Like the fact that Andarna, uh, she essentially breaks up Sigale and Taryn, right? So why can't if she can do that? Why can't she also put the magic back into the ground from the venom? So there's a whole process there.
Oh,
John's mind has just gone.
Also, think of it this way. Also, so when they go to the island of the war goddess for doom, right?
yeah.
They have to battle the high priestess just to be heard, and they turn it into a ceremony where they don't realize that's what's happening, and that's when she's like, "Well, we were almost done with the ceremony. Like it was almost like she was like marrying Zayden to her already, right? And essentially, Dane was just a witness, right? Then they get to the gambling island for luck, and they have to go through that whole ceremony to get what they got: broccoli, and then they got the army, that said they were going to help them. So I think there's a battle between. I think the gods are going to be more present in the fourth book. I think that it's going to be like very red wedding. Like characters are going to be gone left and right in this next book. Like, oh no, I don't think there's like. I think she's invested people so much that it's going to be Sawyer most likely because everybody's invested in him
Yeah.
and invested in him. You know, basically being Hiccup, finding his love, and then or it's going to be Rhiannon. I think it's going to be Rhiannon or Sawyer.
Oh,
Definitely,
lovely, Anna.
because she said somebody in the core group is going to pass.
Yeah.
I think that Brennan he knows he's essentially a wyvern. Because
I
think
agree
about
with
it,
that.
I think he knows it, and because think about it, he's been dead for 4 years, right, or eight
Yeah.
years. Right? So he's been gone for 8 years, and his sisters are right there in front of him, and he's not hanging out with them all the time. That's question number one. I think he knows that I think he knows he's already done for if they take out the sage, like they take out the main venom, right? I think that's what's going to happen. I think that we've never met these. So I know Taryn. Taryn is one of the leaders. I think he's one of the leaders of the Empyrean. He doesn't want to be. I think he is one of the leaders of the Empyrean, and he doesn't want to be. I think that we haven't met. So the Empyrean is supposed to be the collective of the dragons of each den, and who's in charge of them, right? So we've never met. What happened to the first 6 dragons? How do we know they're not so large, but also so old that they're not just staying in and living in their dens? We've never met them. We've heard of them. Also, I think the thing is, I think the secret venom factory is Daddy Atos. He is the epitome of the fourth brother of the third brother who wants to get away from being controlled by dragons and by griffins. He's basically Jafar.
Basically.
He's basically Jafar. He's using his own son to collect intel unknowingly. Because it makes sense that he doesn't treat Dane like he loves him. So Dane has a daddy issue. where he wants to please daddy all the time.
Really?
So and he also wants to be a protector all the time. And that's why he thinks Violet is useless until he realizes she's not. I think that the difference, though, is that the dragons, I think the Irids pull their magic from the sky
Yeah.
because all the other dragons pull theirs from the ground. Because when they're flying between islands, one, the only one who can talk to any of their dragons is Violet. Right? She says there's a little bit of issue talking to Terran once in a while, but not with Andarna. So Andarna is obviously the connecting force, right?
Yeah.
I think they naturally pull the magic from the sky. Because think about it. Clubs, maces, knives, daggers, and even scorpions. So those are all ground aspects. The Irids are all feather tails, which is the only air aspect. So there's like a whole thing with that.
You have blown my mind.
Oh, don't! I could ruin Harry Potter for you in like 2 seconds.
I do. I used to like Harry Potter. I haven't really, not to this level.
No, you want to hear a weird one? Okay, so I have come up with two different weird theories. So Harry Potter, the short version is this: Snape's the potion master, correct?
Yeah.
He knows how he can smell Polyjuice Potion and know it's Polyjuice Potion off like rip. He knows he can look at his inventory. He knows exactly how much ingredients he has, and knows his Polyjuice Potion. I think so. Snape was so obsessed with Harry's mom. He was like one bad picture wall or like hidden cubby with all of her bubble gum from being obsessed.
Yeah.
The only reason he kept Harry alive was what? Because her eyes reminded him of her.
Yeah.
So like it's all self-serving, it's all selfish reasons, right? He changed his Patronus into hers. All selfish reasons.
Mm.
So the night that Harry goes and like when they're supposed to when Voldemort kills Harry's mom and dad, I think he stole her hairbrush or cut off parts of her hair, and he's paying goblins in Hogsmeade to be Mommy Potter and tell him he's a good boy.
I was clearly never a fan. That was so over my head.
Or that, or he's taking extra special time in front of the mirror of Erised by himself.
Yeah, I remember the mirror. Listen.
Because the thing he most desired pops up, right? So he'd be seeing Harry Potter the whole time.
Yeah. Wild.
Oh my.
There's a book circulated in bookshop, and it's like a dark version of Harry Potter.
Manacled?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't buy it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because it's fan fiction, it's illegal to sell it because it's working off the IP of Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
So what's happening is, I guess the writer is giving it window dressing to put it within the world of wizardry, but not be directly Harry Potter.
I'm pretty sure there's a guy, he had like an email copy and was handing it out to loads of
Oh,
people.
I'm pretty sure you can find like a PDF of it anyways. But like it's like they made it now it's copywritten, so you can't. She's like pulling all of her things. But if you find one, snatch it up. Yeah, there's that one. And what's the other one? Oh, this is a stupid one. So in Twilight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So they're supposed to have all these properties all around the world, and they can only be there about 15 to 20 years on tops at each place, right?
Yeah.
Meaning they have to keep all of this land, so the city or the countries that it's in doesn't like possess it for being abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably put everything in a trust, right?
Yeah.
And they've been employing like these lawyers who have just been keeping their things alive, their living trust alive for years, right?
Yeah.
And right? So that means they have to keep everything up to code. Like when the world went from coal to gas, they had to upgrade everything, right? Means that they have to get contractors in there, and everything has to be up to code. Meaning there's toilets in the Cullen house, and they don't take poops. So like Bella Swan just dropping bombs on Taco Tuesday, and they're out there still wanting to eat it like a hot pocket.
That's hilarious.
It's not ready for that.
It's not. That is just not where I thought that was going. But okay,
No, but I'm here for it.
that is so funny.
Sorry to your followers.
What time? Where are you, and what time is it?
I'm in Arizona. It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. It's like
It's
11.
like, I was gonna say it's gotta be like 10 or 11 over there.
Yeah. I really enjoyed having you. That was so fun. I haven't read any fantasy book, really. I haven't read any FEA, so
They're good. They're good. The thing of it's like CW. It's like the CW like light dramas.
Okay. So,
If you take it as that, you're fine. Don't expect it to be Downtown Abbey
Yeah.
or Bridgerton.
maybe one day. Maybe one day when all of the books are out, I might
That's what I
listen
was
to
saying.
them. I use fantasy. It's good for me to listen to rather than read it.
If you like listening to them, do the enhanced audio.
Okay.
The other one, like right now, I'm listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, have you seen The Emperor's New Groove?
Yes, what a good
Okay.
film. Sorry.
Okay, so imagine if Kronk and Yzma as a cat were going around a Dungeons and Dragons style like world because aliens repossessed Earth and now have like put everybody in a video game essentially.
That's wild.
Like it is, and the cat talks and she's a sassy cat. And I think it was like I died the other day because I'm sitting there and she's like a show cat. She's a Persian, and she goes, they're in a bar and they're like, because there's like an adult bar for dancers, right?
Yeah.
And they have one for men and one for women, and she's coming out of one for women. And he's like, what were you doing in there? She goes, 8 more visits and I get a dancer anaconda. And I'm like, oh god, I was dying. Oh, and she says it with a British accent, which is hilarious.
Fantastic.
Like she talks entirely in a British accent. If you want funny, it is one of the most surprising books for people to get audiobooked, and it is like hilarious.
Excellent. Amazing. Well, I am on my last legs of energy here.
You go crash out. I gotta go tell people how to fix their house now.
You do. Be kind. Give them discount.
I do. And then I just go home and play with my hairless cats and do nothing.
Nice. My friend's got 2 of those cats. It's very cool. Thank you so much for coming. See you later.
Bye.
I'm going to have to trim that whole section up and put that separately on YouTube because WTF. I don't understand anything what he just said, but you do, so other people will.
I loved it. It gave me so many theories there that I'm going to have to look into, but I need to put my hair on top of my head. I haven't got a bubble.
Darling, it was a delight as always.
Wow.
I will harass you tomorrow when I start reading Liam.
Yes,
I've probably already finished it. But have a great what day is it tomorrow? Have a great 24.
Speak to you tomorrow.
See you later.
Bye.